IPS, Indian Police Service versus CAPF. This battle has got currency recently because CAPF officers want that CAPF should be headed by CAPF officers and not by IPS officers. First of all, I would like to make it clear CAPF means Central Armed Police Forces like BSF, CRPF, ITBP, SSB. These are CAPF. So there has been historical disagreement with regard to leadership of IPS in CAPF, and CAPF officers recruited at the level of assistant commandant, etc. They want that they should head their organization like BSF, CRPF, etc. IPS officers coming from civil police side, etc. should not head them. So many logics, so many reasons have been propounded, but I would like to give a different color to this debate, an academic color to this debate, because the debate is not about one-upmanship. It is simply there are certain reasons for IPS being heads of these CAPF organizations, and reasons are as follows. First of all, I would like to say something about the Indian Police Service. As from its very name, Indian Police Service, it says it is police, but it is a service. So, Indian Police Service is primarily and firstly recruited from civil services examination, and it is allocated to those candidates which fall in that merit as per their preferences. So, Indian Police Service is basically the civil police groomed as a civil police since beginning, at the outset at the ASP or DSP level, and then going to SP level, DIG level, IG level, ADG level, like that. So Indian Police Service is basically meant for providing police leadership to civil police organizations in the state, as police is mandated organization with regard to law and order, control of crime, etc., etc., security of BBIPs, etc. So Indian Police Service is actually trained. Officers of Indian Police Service are trained to provide service to the civilians, police service to civilians, in terms of providing law and order, controlling and detecting and preventing crime. So Indian Police Service is basically a civil side of the police, and the officers who are inducted into IPS, they grow in a civil police ecosystem where they understand the value of human rights, the value of how to interact with society, how to solve the grievances of the public, how to interact with the civil administration, how to interact with various issues with regard to civil society, and in that way they are trained to how to negotiate with the crowd, how to control the law and order, how to manage a better political and administration coordination, and of course civil administration, and so many facets of the police administration they do. For example, they do the traffic management, serious crimes, economic offences, serious frauds, etc. So in that way, Indian Police Service officers are basically groomed in a way that they are professionally trained to handle the crime control and law and order, BIP security, traffic, etc., etc. So Indian police is like this. Now coming to the CAPF officer, let me tell you what is the CAPF. CAPF, in the beginning, let us discriminate these two organizations on the basis, differentiate these two organizations on the basis of their name nomenclature. Central Armed Police Force. Here it is not service per se, it is force. So it is a tool. CAPF is basically a kind of armed force which is used for a particular purpose, for a particular time, and it is more to supplement the civil police administration or some specialized duties like on borders, BSF, and some other duties like NSD doing commando, anti-hijacking operations and all that. So the CAPF, by virtue of it, their organization are actually specialized agencies which are not acting as a civil interface, which don't have any civil interface, but they work with their professionalism to get certain tasks done. And sometimes they provide support to the civil police with regard to law and order, security duties, and other such duties where some amount of force is required. So CAPF officers are actually heading these organizations which are primarily a symbol of force to inspire confidence. They are actually force. Force means which can be used by the state for the purposes which has been mandated. Here it is a service and here it is a force. So nomenclature itself signifies that they have different roles to play. And since they are not so much sensitized with the civil interface and police administration, civil administration, and other duties with regard to public and civilians, they are more insulated and they are more effective in that sense sometimes, because their working professionalism with regard to use of force is considered to be much more effective than the civil, because civil police is more apt with regard to negotiations, harmonious relation with the community outreach, investigations, anti-terrorist operations, intelligence gathering, security duties where you have to interact with the civilian and high echelons of the society. So, when we talk any organization with a service motive, it is clear that it is mandated not to be a symbol of force, but a symbol of service. Of course, it has a background of the force in itself, inherent. Being police, it is mandated to use the force, but it cannot call itself merely a force. Unlikely to this definition of civil police is the CAPF. CAPF is actually, each and every CAPF has certain specified tasks for which it has been created. First thing, for example, border security force. So it is basically to patrol the border and related offences, to assist local police on the one side, assist army on the other side, so that in the peacetime borders are managed better, access control at the borders are done better, and all CAPF are basically to work in unison with the civil police of that particular state, because it is the civil police which is a controlling organization with regard to utilization of CAPF when there is a law and order or any other duty where CAPF is to provide a support. In no situation it is a vice versa. So CAPF, I am not saying CAPF has a less important duty or lesser important. It is a defined and specialized force for a particular job, while civil police is a multitude of services bundled in the police administration, civil police administration, and IPS officers are police service officers, state police service or civil police officers, whatever you can call. They all are actually trained, experienced, and groomed in a way so that their public interaction and other duties go in sync with the values of the state, and police delivers its services or deliveries of the police is more acceptable to the society, acceptable to the public, and acceptable to the state. So it is a police public service delivery kind of arrangement. So here interaction with the common public and all class of the public, whether it is a business community, whether it is a political community, whether it is a student community, media, judiciary, so all kind of interactions are expected to be in much harmonious way possible because of the civil police being trained to be like that. But CAPF is not so much trained in negotiating these things or working in unison with the public and all that. Yes, there are certain CAPF organizations which try to develop a lot of confidence in the public by offering several services, hospitals, etc., and other services. But their primary responsibility and mandate is not law and order and crime. When we talk of law and order and crime, we signify that it is the mandate of the civil police, which is headed by an Indian police service officer. While CAPF being a force, being a kind of supplementary source of a force when the civil police requires, and then being specialized for a particular job, which is halfway army, halfway police, since it is a force, so it is like we cannot use the army for force use duties with regard to internal matters. So it is actually an upgradation, which means between the police, civil police and army, intermediate position is of the CAPF, which can work for internal security arrangements, cooperating with the police, or it can cooperate with the army on borders and other services. So broadly it is called CAPF, so Central Armed Police Force. Why Indian police service officers are supposed to lead these organizations? There are certain international protocols. United Nations organization, International Human Rights Organization, has certain international protocols that all police organizations must be headed by civil police officers, because their sensitivity to human rights is much more exposed and harmonized with the civil society than CAPF or the force. So it is the international protocol of human rights that all these force organizations, paramilitary organizations, should be headed by civil police administration officers with a view to have a better sensitivity to human rights and other obligations which UN has mandated to all states, and India is a signatory to that. So that is one international obligation. Second is the civil administration coordination. IPS officer is well-oiled, well-groomed, well-trained to have a coordination with the civil administration, coordination with the political administration, political executive. So CAPF officers may be specialized in their job and they may reach up to certain ranks. Here this is not the issue to provide them ranks. Let me make it clear. Rank provision is a different issue altogether. That can be a separate point of debate. How how much career progression should each and every service should get. That is a separate topic. Here I am not debating that. Here I am discussing only one issue: why a civil police officer, of course, higher service being Indian Police Service, are supposed to head the CAPF, because they are groomed, trained, experienced, trusted to have a proper civil interface in their life, in their careers, with the other civil administration activities, political executive, and of course with the CAPF also. Because once an officer is a superintendent of police, or he's head of the police as a DGP, so he has to interact. Sometimes a lot of CAPF are supposed to support local police with regard to law and order, etc., etc., and some other duties. These CAPFs are requisitioned by the state police when there are riots, when there are so many issues. So state police, which is civil police I am calling, civil police is actually headed by the Indian Police Service officers, is more appropriate and experienced to head any CAPF. Another thing is that police being state subject, law and order, civil administration, civil police administration. So the Indian Police Service officers are very well groomed to work as a balance between the state and center, in unison with the spirit of federalism, and the variety of opportunities these officers avail in their service tenure. Sometimes they go to ministries, sometimes they go to the intelligence organization. So their exposure to the police kind of duties is multifarious. That becomes an asset when they lead the CAPF organizations, because CAPF officers, if they head their organization, they may not be having that experience as working in districts or in field, or working in intelligence agencies, working for controlling or investigating crimes, working in VIP security, or coordinating with the civil administration. So all these issues, if we discuss, we finally arrive at one conclusion, that it is better that Indian Police Service officer heads a CAPF. Of course, I will not mind CAPF officers, or for that purpose all service officers should be given a reasonable career growths, reasonable opportunity to improve their careers. But heading an organization has a lot of other international, national obligations. To that extent, IPS is fully capable and justified to head these CAPFs. So this dispute of IPS versus CAPF should be seen in these contexts, and it should not be taken as if somebody is a superior, somebody is inferior. Each and every service has certain specializations, but the more we get exposure, the more we get experiential learnings, the more capable we become. To that extent, an IPS service officer in his whole career gets exposed to so many issues, so many organizations, so many bodies, that the overall experience he or she has is quite large than any CAPF cadre officer who has worked in his own organization with specialized jobs, etc. Thank you, and I have regards for all services, and I would expect that this lecture is taken in that spirit, and I have respect to CAPF. I am an IPS officer, yes, of course, but I have tried to discuss this issue with an academic and international perspective. Thank you. Jai Hind. Please take care. God bless us.